Yo, what's going on, y'all? So in my last video, a lot of you all asked me to make a video talking about how to play the assassin role. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Before we get too deep into the video, I want to ask you to please drop a thumbs up on the video. It takes a few seconds. Like, I put a lot of work into the videos that I make. I've been trying to make content to stand out and actually provide some useful tips from a perspective that's not just my own, but from competitive players like everywhere. Like this is MOBAs aren't new, MOBAs aren't anything special. It's something that's been around. So I'm trying to give you all perspectives from that point of view, and I'm a game developer, so I know a lot of things and I see a lot of things that other people wouldn't. So yeah, I'm just making this content to hopefully help you all. So yeah, go ahead and drop a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new. But getting into it, man, we're going to be talking about the assassin's role, because that's actually a tricky role. That's not a role that's straightforward like some of the other ones, because the majority of the, well, actually all the other roles in Mobile Legends, you really just, when it's time to team fight, you stick together. You all are on the front lines and you just battle it out. When it comes down to an assassin, assassins are, as it sounds, like when it comes down to thinking about any assassin, they're not seen, they're silent, they're deadly. They have a target in mind. When they're attacking people, they have a specific target in mind, and they want to kill that target. Like that's their goal, and that's basically how an assassin is in real life. That's the one character that can be away from the team, and that's supposed to be away from the team actually, because an assassin is not one of those head-on heroes where you're supposed to just be like right behind the tank on the back line or something like that. No, that's not the assassin. The assassin is supposed to roam around, be hiding in bushes, probably on the other team, like probably on the other team's side of the base or the other team's turf, more than likely, because like you want to catch them off guard. The goal of an assassin is to catch whoever is the most deadliest one on their team. You want to catch them off guard and get them out of there quick, which is mainly the ADC. Usually the assassin's job is to take out the ADC. I know the meta is pretty weird right now. I actually did a video explaining how ADC are still viable and mages aren't as good as people are making them seem. That's what happens in Mobile Legends. What happens in Mobile Legends is a lot of people like to overhype things, because like a couple not so good players, I'm gonna try not to insult anyone, but a couple not so good players like to make excuses for why they can't do something. So basically they say that it's impossible to kill mages, so don't play ADC or marksman because they're useless now, simply because they're not good enough to play marksman and stuff like that. And then everyone just listens to that and runs with it, when in reality we've seen teams use 100% characters that are just not in the meta and still win because they're just good players.
No, who knows, they might pick. Oh, it's an S stage. Oh, then we might get to see some weird heroes like Yi Sun Shin that we never see.
Oh, Lolita?
Lolita.
Oh
my goodness, what is this kind of strat? It seems like Salty Salad is playing the meta heroes right here. I do not sleep. I am ready for the craziness, the epicness. We already have S stage, we already have Lolita. I'm ready for the last pick. Might be Yi Sun Shin, I don't know.
Oh, you called it? What the heck?
What is that?
Oh my god, all the non-matters.
Oh my. Yi Sun Shin. It's actually right there as the last pick of team I Do Not Sleep. If you take a look at the I Do Not Sleep, Mage Alive, and also Rafaela coming out with the Holy Healing. Holy Healing is just still not enough. Karina, oh, look at that Shadow Rush, rushing everything. Look at that, he's even faster than my internet. Holy shoot. And that might be the first one. It's just gonna go for the throne. Go straight to the throne. How are they gonna defend this one? They're not gonna give up and carry. That's gonna be the first game. Wow.
Wow, that is a really quick play.
Oh
it's under 10 minutes.
That slow strat lead by Yi Sun Shin is just incredible.
So when it comes down to winning, it takes teamwork. It 100% comes down to your team, how you perform with your team and stuff like that, and your strategy, because that's very important too. Just because you're in a Discord chat with a bunch of people doesn't mean that you're going to automatically be good, you're going to automatically win. You have to actually have a strategy. Like I noticed a lot of times when I was playing with my homies, we were in a party together, but it didn't help at all because we had no strategy. We weren't communicating. Like, just being in a Discord call is not enough. You have to really be able to communicate, and everyone really has to understand what they're doing. So yeah, that's basically what I want to point out. Just try to think for yourself. It's very important that you think for yourself, because if something exists, there's usually a way to counter it. There's always a way to counter it. So the meta is a certain thing right now. That's 100% true. Do you have an advantage if you play with the meta characters? Of course you have an advantage, but you have an even bigger advantage if you're smart enough to beat the current meta, which only a few people are. And a little known factor, which is gonna lead into the rest that I'm gonna talk about. There's like a small niche group of players in Mobile Legends who are really actually good players. Like, you look at the people with all those stars and some of the top players, quote unquote top players in Mobile Legends, a lot of those guys cheated to get there. And I'm not going to go into all the hacks and glitches and all that cheating stuff, but a lot of the top players are really just cheaters. And a lot of the lower elos and stuff like that, it's just no teamwork, no communication. They're not actual teams. So there's like a select small group of people who are actually good at the game. And that brings me to my next point, which is you have to practice against a higher level of players, or you have to really watch teams. You have to watch teams or learn from people talking about team-based tips and tricks. I mean, I don't really watch a lot of the other YouTubers like that. I watch some videos here and there, but I don't really watch the other YouTubers, so I don't know who's doing it. But last time I checked, I was pretty much the only one talking about team-based anything, and I'm the one without a team, which is kind of crazy if you really think about it. I shouldn't be the one having to give these tips and tricks. Yeah, there was a time where I was I was a lot more competitive. I did have teams in the games that I played and stuff like that, but things have changed now. But yeah, it's very important that you all learn how to play from a team's perspective, and it's very important that you all find a team, because this is the type of game where it's a team-based game, and it's not going to be that fun of an experience without a team. And that's very important, especially for the assassin role. The reason it's very important for the assassin role is because your teammates has to tell you when people are low and stuff like that. They have to tell you what to do, what you should be doing, because sometimes it's crucial for an assassin to be split pushing and taking towers during the team fight. Like, if your team is very beefy and tanky and you all are pretty much strong enough to hold the people off, I mean, some assassins will automatically know. Like, I would be aware enough to probably know that, okay, they can handle that, let me go and start taking some towers this way. But at the same time, the communication is very key and crucial, because it could be a time where your team needs your help, and it's like you have Karina and everyone over there is low, and you can literally take out the whole team, but you just have to know when. And then they tell you, yo, now's the time, come in and just hit your ultimate. Then you go out there and destroy everybody, and it's crazy team plays like that can be made. But before we get too much deeper into that, I actually want to talk about something very important, and that's what you're supposed to be doing before the team fights. Like, when the game first starts, what should an assassin be doing, and how is the assassin role supposed to be played? Because a lot of times I see people that just stay in the jungle the whole time. They just roam the jungle killing stuff the entire time, and it's so cringy. I hate it. I really hate it, because it's not useful to the team at all. It actually hurts the team a lot. Because if you think about it, if the other team does not have an assassin, which a lot of times, or an assassin actually playing the assassin role correctly, that's going to leave your teammates in a 1v2. So somebody's going to be in a 1v2, and if you're just jungling the entire time, you're not really bringing much value to your teammate, and you're leaving them in a 1-on-2 situation. But at the beginning of the game, when it's the very beginning of the game, it's okay for the jungler, one person. That's it, one person. I hate seeing tanks in the jungle. I hate seeing freaking anybody else in the jungle, especially mages. Like, mages and tanks, I see them in the jungle so freaking often, and it's so cringe to me. Like, why are you all in especially early game? Early game, you don't need mana, you don't need none of that stuff early game. Who needs to be fed at the beginning of the game is the assassin. Why does the assassin need to be fed? Because they're the ones with the most slaying power early on. Like, they can take people out early on. Like, they're the most dangerous one early on. When it comes to a tank, they're not dangerous ever. Like, they're not going to be able to do damage ever. When it comes to a mage, you're not going to be able to burst somebody down early game, no matter how fed you are. So, not important. When it comes to the ADC don't get good until late game. So who can actually do a bunch of killing and actually destroy people early game? It's only one choice. It's an assassin. So that's why the assassins are supposed to be the ones in the jungle early game, killing things and getting strong. So I mean very early game. You're supposed to be the first one at level 4. Once you hit that level 4, you roam around and just bully the other team, just kill them. You're going to be level 4 before everyone, especially if your team is doing what they're supposed to. If they're actually supporting you and helping you and you're communicating. Because the issue right now is that you'll have 3 people jungling, so there's nothing for the jungler to actually kill in the jungle, so the jungler never reaches level 4, and instead your whole team always stays around the same level, which isn't how it should be. The jungler should be the first one at the highest level, because the jungler should be able to get, like, at the beginning of the game, the jungler should be able to take, in theory, both jungles. The jungler should be able to take both jungles. That should get him his level 4. Then he should roam around and start killing people. Like, you should also be around, like, if the jungler is really good, you all will be around level 2 when a jungler hits level 4. Then at level 2, you're starting to actually get kills, so you're putting the other team behind. And if there's no one to kill, if there's not anybody with 2 people on them, then the jungler, it's the jungler's job to go and try to steal the other team's jungle to put them behind. Because the more, if your other team can't jungle, honestly, you're just going to assume that somebody on your team took the jungle unless they're communicating. Then they can say, yo, I didn't take that in the jungle, so that means they came to our jungle. And then they might want to try to counter you all and do something like, so that means that they have, in order to catch back up and farm, they have to come and get together and kill somebody. Like, that's how the matches should go. It should be strategic. Honestly, when I see that my jungle's missing, I just assume one of my teammates did it, honestly. Even though a lot of times it is the other team. The other team sneaks over. It's some assassin that knows what they're doing. They sneak over and they take the jungle. Like, that's really important as an assassin. You shouldn't be seen, and it's very good if the other team actually assumes that it's their own teammates that keeps taking their jungle, because that's the great part about not having communication. No one will ever know you have been taking their jungle the whole time. Then people look up and you're level 15 while everyone is level 10, and they're wondering, how the heck did he do that? And it's simply because you've been roaming around killing people. You've been taking both sides jungle. Like, you've really just been actually playing your role well. And that's how important a jungler is, especially, and that's how important having a full team and actually communicating is, because you can't really plan out strategies and stuff like that without being able to communicate. Because more than likely, if you playing solo, you're going to come across somebody who's just going to want to be in the jungle. They're going to want to get strong and fed. They're going to want to do all the killing. That's just inevitable in Mobile Legends because of the lack of knowledge when it comes to playing MOBAs. But as an assassin, you are supposed to roam around. You're supposed to clean out your jungle, clean out the other team's jungle, and help your teammates when they need it. But teammates always take priority. Your teammates, if your teammate needs help, you're supposed to go to them first. I don't care what you're killing in the jungle, anything. If they need your help, you're supposed to be there. You're supposed to stop what you're doing and go there, especially if they need you, because if you're getting fed and you start letting your teammates die, that's going to get the other enemy team fed. Of course, if you're taking the other team's jungle, they're not going to get too fed, but still, you don't want your teammates dying, because once your teammate dies, that means that teammate is not getting fed, and they're closer and closer to being useless. Every time one of your teammates dies, they're closer and closer to being useless in a team fight. So you don't want your team to be the one close to being useless in a team fight. You want the other team to be the useless team in a team fight. So yeah, so basically early game and throughout the game, you're just supposed to roam around, steal things, take things out of the jungle, your own jungle, steal things from the other team's jungle, and kill people. Like, you're gonna hit your level 4 first. Once you hit your level 4, you're supposed to be killing somebody should die. Like, somebody should die, because it's 9 times out of 10 somebody's going to be caught out somewhere, unless you're playing against a super experienced team, which more than likely you're not going to find that in Mobile Legends. Yeah, so you're supposed to be just roaming around. You're supposed to be able to get some kills. Once you hit your level 4, you're supposed to be the first one to hit level 4, and that's basically it. That's basically the basics and the gist of what you're supposed to be doing. During team fights, like I said, you're supposed to just hide in places and wait for your team to engage, wait for them to start getting real caught up in the battle, because the other team is going to be so focused on your team that's going to leave you an opening to take out the most dangerous person on their team, which is more than likely going to be one of the ADCs, or if they have some type of mage that you feel like is a bigger threat, then you can take that. Like, whoever it is that's the most dangerous, you want to go for them. Once the whole team is distracted and they're not going to be able to focus on you, you want to go for whoever it is that you think is going to be give your team the biggest problem and take them out. That way, they either have to retreat or they your team just railroads them. That's basically the gist of it. But honestly, that's pretty much it, man. That's the basics of being an assassin, and that's well, not even really just basic. That's really the whole assassin role in a nutshell. Of course, there's more things throughout the game. There's different decisions that's supposed to be made on a per who you're playing basis. So you have different team comps. You have different people you're playing against. So your strategies might change, or they should change. But that only happens if you have a team that you can communicate with. So basically, these are the steps that you're gonna follow to be a good assassin. Basically, that's all you're really gonna do. Jungle, hit level 4, kill the other team, take their jungle, and just keep jungling and just roaming around killing people. That's really what you're gonna do. Then when it comes down to team fights, you hide and you take out the most valuable target. And that's pretty much it, man. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you feel like it's something different, I missed something, I forgot to say something, go ahead and write that in the comment section as well. If you're in a like really high elo, I know a lot of Glorious Legends come here and they talk about their experiences, which is always insightful. Go ahead and tell us what you think in the comment section down below about the assassin's role. Is that really strong in the meta right now? Are there people actually playing it correctly? What do you think is the correct way? Because that's very different opinions, especially higher level players. Different opinions are very important. But yeah, let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. Once again, please drop that thumbs up on the video. It really helps me out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace out.
Shit, I went from rag to riches, I bagged the bitches that gave me the straight face. I hit the baddest bitches inside, but I had the curve in the same day. I treated them bad, I wouldn't be mad if I was to get treated the same way. So treat me the same way, same way, same way. I was a savage to you, I had to give up and put all my hoes to the side. I swear if I ever left you in the cold, it's cause it was colder inside. Look, and I swear if you ever try to leave me alone, I hope you don't turn to a thot. Most of the niggas that call me only hit my